Hello everyone and welcome back to day 16 of Pinktober. Today's prompt is to create your very own Warrior Cats filming set. The first thing that I'm going to be making for my Warrior Cats set is a background. I found this super cool grassy pattern fabric at Hobby Lobby, and I thought it'd be awesome to wrap this and hot glue it around a canvas to serve as an awesome backdrop for my Warrior Cat sets. I usually hand paint my own backgrounds on canvases for the sets, but when I saw this fabric, I was inspired to try something easier. And look how cool it turned out! Now on to making the first set piece for today. I'm going to be creating my very own fence for the Twoleg place. As you can see, I'm recycling an old Amazon box that was sent to me, and I'm cutting it to create the structure for the fence I'm building. And once I get all the cardboard pieces of the fence together, I'm going to cover each piece with clay. But it's going to be quite a long process, so while I'm working on the fence, I thought it'd be fun for me to read to you guys from Maple Shade's Vengeance. I'll pick up where we left off yesterday. "You knew about these kits?" Darkstar asked, the tip of her tail twitching. Appledusk nodded, and Reedshine let out a soft wail. "But Mapleshade told me she would raise them in ThunderClan," Appledusk mewed. I knew I had made a mistake, so I just said nothing to my clanmates." "A mistake?" Mapleshade almost winced at the pain in Appledusk's pale green eyes. Almost, but not quite. The ice was spreading through her faster than a leaf-bare frost. "Soon, I won't be able to feel anything," she thought. "I should have never betrayed my clan by meeting with Mapleshade," Appledusk went on, "and I will regret it for the rest of my life. I can only beg you for your forgiveness." "What brought the kids here tonight?" Darkstar queried, looking down at the three pitiful shapes. Mapleshade opened her mouth to explain, but Appledusk spoke first. "Mapleshade's clanmates learned the truth, and she had to leave. The river is flooded, and the kits, well, they were too young to swim across." His voice faltered. Mapleshade stared at him. "You're making it sound as if it was my fault." Darkstar mewed. "The loss of any kits is a loss to all of us. But you broke the warrior code, Appledusk. How can I ever trust you again?" Reedshine padded forward until she was standing alongside Appledusk, her fur brushing against his. "If I am willing to forgive him for his past mistakes, then so should you, Darkstar." There were murmurs from the cats at the edge of the clearing. They sounded impressed by Reedshine's confidence. Darkstar waited until the clearing was silent again, and then nodded. "This is not the season for losing warriors. Appledusk, I believe you are sorry for what you did, and that you have been punished enough by the death of your kits. I will allow you to remain in RiverClan, but know that I and the rest of our clanmates will be watching you. You will have to earn back our trust." Appledusk dipped his head so low that his muzzle almost touched the reeds beneath his paws. "I will never forget your mercy, Darkstar," he murmured. "Thank you. I promise that my loyalties lie only with RiverClan and my clanmates." He glanced sideways at Reedshine, who blinked at him. Darkstar gestured with her tail. "Rainfall, help Splashfoot and Eeltail bury these kits. The accident of their birth is not their fault. They may lie in peace in our territory now." Mapleshade struggled to find her voice. What about me?" she croaked. "May I stay here with my kids?" The RiverClan leader stared at her. "No, you may not. You will leave this territory at once, and never set foot across the border again. Like Appledusk, I believe the loss of your kids is punishment enough. Otherwise, rest assured, my warriors would have clawed your fur off for what you've done." "Night is falling!" Mapleshade protested. "Where will I go? Appledusk, help me!" The pale brown warrior shook his head. "Why should I? It's your fault that these kids are dead. I never want to see you again. Reedshine pressed herself even closer to Appledusk's flank. Go away, Maple Shade, she hissed. You've caused enough trouble tonight. Maple Shade looked down at her drowned kits. I cannot leave them, she whispered. They are everything to me. And now, they're dead, Appledusk growled. Be thankful that we've shown you some mercy, Maple Shade. Now get out, before we make you leave. Maple Shade stared at the cat whose face had occupied her mind for so many moons. She thought she had known every swirl of his fur, the angle of every whisker. But now, she didn't recognize him at all. The coldness swelled inside of her until she felt it burst out of her eyes. There was a jolt of satisfaction as Appledusk flinched away from her gaze. You told me you loved me, Maple Shade hissed. I went through the agony of bearing your kits, and now you treat me worse than prey. You will regret this, Appledusk, and that is my last promise to you. And that's where I'm going to be ending the reading for today. As you can see, I've moved on to creating my second set piece of the day. I am now making the Twoleg bridge. This is going to be a background set piece in some upcoming episodes, where Fireheart is over in RiverClan investigating witnesses to find out more information about the battle at Sunning Rocks. Thinking about how I was going to create this bridge was a super fun challenge, and I decided to use the plastic pellet from a gallon of ice cream and to cut it in half, and then to cover it with tinfoil, and hot glue it into the shape of like a dome-like bridge. I had a lot of scraps left over from some of this pebble-like fabric that I've been using for grounds for my Warrior Cat sets, so I decided to recycle those scraps into this project, and to take each of them and lay them down and hot glue them in place to create the kind of road-like gravelly texture over the bridge. And after doing that, the next step was to take a bunch of rocks and hot glue them to the face of the bridge. Because if you look at updated Warrior Cat maps of the original books, they have some concept artwork for the Twoleg bridge, and it looks like it's made of stone. So I thought it'd be fun to take a bunch of pebbles and glue it to the front of the bridge. It adds a lot of cool texture, and it's easier than painting. And just as a final step to blend all of those scraps of fabric together, I'm adding some paint along the top to make it look like more of a dirt road. And now that both of my set pieces are completed, let's take a final look. First, this is the background that I created several months ago. That's really cool and has a bunch of cattails on it. And here is the awesome Twoleg bridge. I think that when I set this up for filming, I will have a river run underneath it, because I think that looks super cool in the background. But other than that, I'm so excited to have this set piece completed, so that I can move on with filming my episodes after Pinktober ends. I believe this bridge will be debuting itself in episode 5 of Forest of Secrets, but you guys will have to wait for that day to come. Now let's take a gander over at my beautiful white fence for the Twoleg place, specifically Princess's Garden. I think this fence looks absolutely perfect. I love it so much. It was quite time-consuming to make, but I think it'll be nice to have my very own fence that I made for all my Twoleg place scenes. Especially because I plan to make Princess a slightly bigger character in Forest of Secrets. Well, today ends my contribution to Pinktober, and I'll be handing the reins back to Rachel to continue on with our daily speed paints. But if you guys like the way that I make set pieces, we are currently having a 20% off sale on our Etsy shop for the next 48 hours. So if you're interested, I hope you'll check it out. Link is down below. Now let's check out 10 of my favorite artworks from yesterday's prompt, which was to redesign a Warrior Cat's book cover. Romero The Liger redrew the cover of The Sun Trail, and Soot Nose decided to redesign the cover for Eclipse. CatsofFire created artwork for a redesign of Graystripe's Vows cover. And Ivy did Into the Wild. This cover artwork by Dream for the Dawn of the Clans book, The First Battle, is super cool. And I think blizzardsky's cover for The Darkest Hour is super creative. This is Phoenix Wing's cover for the novella Goosefeather's Curse. And Cherrystar created a stunning redesign of the cover for Fire and Ice. Lil'Blu decided to redesign the cover for Thunder and Shadow. And finally, a user named a cat wearing a frog suit created this adorable artwork for Into the Wild. Tomorrow's prompt is a super fun one, to draw different fandom characters as cats. This is your chance to share your love for a different fandom than warrior cats. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Remember, if you want to take part in Pinktober over on our Amino, you need to add the hashtag Pinktober2021 to your post. And if you do that, you will receive 10 Amino Coins just for participating. And if you're lucky enough to get your artwork featured on the front page, you will receive an additional 200 Amino Coins as a reward. Thank you guys all so much for participating in Pinktober. There's just one thing that I ask more of you to do, is that if you're on my Amino, please comment on more Pinktober posts. There are so many incredible artworks being made every single day, and they need more love. So, take a small bit of time out of your day and go and comment on as many as you can. I'm sure the artists that are doing this challenge would really appreciate the love. Before I say goodbye for today, I just wanted to give a special thank you to all of the members of Early Clan. I am so appreciative of your guys' added support as members of our channel. Well guys, thank you so much for watching to the end of this speed paint. I hope to see you over on Amino. But otherwise, I'll see you with the next video tomorrow. Bye-bye!